How's it going, guys? So today I wanted to make this video just to share some tips that might be able to help you play better and win more games. Firstly, I'd like to say that for these videos that I'm going to start making, I'll be going very in depth, sharing as much useful knowledge as I can, and I'll be trying my best to keep the videos entertaining and not a snooze fest. But I'm sure that as I continue, my editing skills should improve a little bit more, so hopefully things get more interesting. I would like to also mention that I've been playing Rainbow Six for a few years now. I've been playing the game competitively for over a year, and I've struggled through bronze, silver, gold, plat, and all the way up to diamond elo. And hopefully these videos can help you do the same. And obviously, I can't go over everything there is, like all the information I have in my head, but I'm gonna make different videos, like different sections. Uh, and the first one's gonna be on attack, so specifically the roam clear. I know for me, I always struggled being a good attacker, and I know most other players feel the same way, since on defense you can just hold angles, wait for the attackers to push, but on attack you have to create openings and pressure the defenders out of angles. So starting off talking about the roam clear, most roam clears that are most effective and efficient must have three things. Number one being a droner. This would usually be a hard breacher, since you don't want to lose them to a gunfight early on before they can even get the breach. Number two would be an entry, someone following the drone. This can be any operator. Mostly you want someone that has a really good gun that can take fights easily, like Ash or Zofia. But it can pretty much be anyone. Lastly, number three, which most people don't realize you really need, is a cutoff. So now having a droner, an entry, and a cutoff is minimum for having an effective and efficient roam clear. If you're able to get even a fourth or a fifth person to help you on the roam clear, it can even get more faster and more efficient and more safe. And I'll get into why that can be later in the video. So starting off in the roam clear, which is usually done at the beginning of the round, the best example to show how powerful each of the three roles are is probably going to be on Oregon. So for this given example, the droner will be a thermite, the entry will be an Ash, and the cutoff will be an IQ. In the example, the group of three players want to clear any roamers in the area of small tower, showers, and dining, just to gain map control for whatever reason. The Ash and Thermite, or whoever takes the roles of the droner and entry, will usually start in the same place, since the droner will drone for the entry. And for this clear, they will both start at the small tower window, since roam clears are done from the edge of the map towards the center. Now, notice the IQ will be positioned at the white stairs window, and this is very important. Once the IQ opens this specific window, she can see through the double door at the bottom of white stairs and all the way through dining. This is what's called a cutoff angle, since anyone that is roaming in small towers, showers, or dining can no longer return to sight or towards the center of the map, and the only way back is through the line of sight held by IQ. So once everyone is in their positions, Thermite or whoever's on the droner role will drone all of small tower, call to the entry if it's clear or not, and then drone either shower side or dining side, while the entry player will follow right behind the drone. Something to keep in mind though is if the entry is too far behind the drone, the information the droner will call out, like the position of a roamer or where people are, could change by the time the entry will see them. If the entry player is too close to the drone, the entry might make contact with the roamer before the droner is able to call their position or tell them caution or whatever. Now, most commonly, if a roamer sees a drone, they will try and shoot it and then retreat closer to the center of the map, closer back to sight, and try and waste more time instead of taking an early gunfight. Risking the possibility of dying early as a roamer and wasting no time for the attackers is definitely not a goal for a roamer. So let's say in this example there's a vigil roaming by showers or in showers. IQ is at her cutoff angle. The droner has checked small tower, dining, and is now droning down showers hall, while the entry follows slightly behind. The vigil sees and shoots the drone, then falls back through showers hall. Ash will then push the hallway while Vigil continues to retreat and crosses right in front of IQ holding the cutoff. So here, the Vigil was forced into what is called a pinch, where he's being trapped between two players, being the Ash, pushing him in Showers Hall, and IQ holding his cutoff. This specific cutoff angle is extremely powerful since Vigil is essentially trapped into this area and forcing him into a gunfight with either Ash or the IQ, which is not ideal for Roamer. It's basically flipping a coin to see if he's able to waste more time or if he's going to die early. So now in this example, we only had the bare minimum for an efficient and effective roam clear, droner, entry, and cutoff. If a team dedicated, let's say 4 or even 5 people, things can change a little bit. So there's a couple of options if more people are involved in the roam clear. So for example, you could add one more person as a second entry. Then the first entry, or Ash in this example, can follow the drone, and then someone else can follow right behind Ash, like a Zofia or another very frag heavy operator. Just in case Ash loses a gunfight to a roamer, the Zofia can use the information Ash gives when she dies to instantly get the refrag. Having that extra person get the refrag of the first entry can possibly save a lot of time, especially if, say, Ash loses the gunfight to the Vigil. Vigil can just sit in showers, waste time until someone else is able to entry off a drone for a second time. The second entry has to pressure the roamer immediately after the first entry dies, so that the roamer doesn't have a chance to reload his gun or reposition, and the info given stays fresh. Now, if we go a step further and say all 5 attackers roam clear together, you could clear much more efficiently. For example, the droner, being Thermite, could drone the first entry, being Ash, shower side, after small tower has been cleared, and another droner, being maybe Nomad for example, could drone in front of another entry like Zofia, dining side, while someone plays cutoff bottom white. This would cut the time of the roam clear in half, but as we all know, not everyone wants to cooperate in ranked if they aren't keyed with you, which is why more than likely in ranked, 3-man clear is a lot more common than a full 5 or 4-man clear, unless it's a 5 stack. So the Oregon example I just gave is one of the best cutoffs you can hold, which is why roaming in that area of the map is almost a death trap, because you can just be cut off entirely just by one single angle. But it's one of the many different places you can use this method of clearing using a droner, entry, and cutoff. Just to name a few other examples, you can look at this cutoff angle on Coastline. This cutoff angle is very strong when clearing Penthouse and Theater, which is a very common clear, and it's repelling on Weiser's window. As roamers are either killed by an entry player or pressured back towards Theater, their only way back to site is cut off by someone on repel here. They can no longer get back to site or retreat down White stairs, forcing them into another gunfight. Another clear example shown on Coastline would be on the first floor. If you want to clear out office and blue bar so that you can do vertical play from below if the site was billiards, you could have a player sit outside the blue bar window as an entry is droned into office and blue bar. If you had another person helping with the clear, they could be a second cutoff in main lobby, so that if a roamer is previously in office retreats through security instead of blue bar, they are also pinched. I could continue on and on giving every cutoff angle, but part of improving your roam clear is finding these cutoff angles on the fly. Being able to notice a teammate calling out info of a roamer's position and thinking of their route back to site and where you can possibly cut off their roam can help save your team time and help you win more games. Being able to also see what your team needs in any given situation can also help just as much. If you notice a teammate is droning, another teammate is holding a cutoff, then you can fill the role of becoming the entry, and do the same if your team needs a droner or a cutoff. Many people like myself, when I was struggling, feel weaker on attack than on defense. That's because on defense it's easy to see what the team needs. Well, we don't have breach denial, so I'll play bandit or mute, or we don't have any plant denial, so I'll play smoke or echo or maestro. Seeing what the team needs on attack, not only just an operator selection, but for roles such as entry, droner, and cutoff on the fly, is much more difficult since you have to notice your teammates' positioning and what they are doing or communicate with them to find out who can do what. So I think that pretty much covers the knowledge I have around roam clearing using cutoffs. I hope you guys learned some useful information and that this helps you feel more confident and knowledgeable about how to attack better. Obviously, the roam clear is not only the part of the entire attack, and I plan to go over everything there is to go over when it comes to attack and maybe defense. The other topics I plan to go over for attack are the execute, vertical play, and defense topics might go over are like soft roaming, really mobile roaming, hard roaming, just like holding specific areas off site, like keeping control there, and anchoring. I would love to hear feedback on the video and which of the topics I mentioned you would like for me to go over next, or if there are any other topics I didn't mention that you would like me to cover. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching and have a good one.